Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've made a video. I'm back in Florida full time, and that means that all my comics are under one roof. That means also that I can start making some more videos or videos on a more consistent basis. We're going to start by doing a 2024 HeroesCon haul. I'm going to do, it's probably going to be broken down into about two parts at least because just the amount of books. I didn't buy a ton, but I don't like my videos to go really more than 15 minutes. And this is going to be all the DC books I bought. And real quick, met some great people there. I knew Roger Metarog was going to be there. Roger and I, we've texted occasionally, and of course I've watched and followed his channel for a few years now. And I knew he was going to be there. And he even texted me when he was already there. He says, "Where are you at?" And as we were in line going through the turnstile, I looked over, and there he was. I broke out of line. I said, "Roger!" I came up to him, and I said, "Sarah, Eric, hey." And we hugged, and then we went inside, and we talked a little bit. He met my wife, Michelle, met my best friend, Aaron, and his wife, Rachel. And caught up with him a couple times that day on Friday, and then saw him again on Saturday. I didn't see him on Sunday, but we kept in touch. And every time I saw Roger, he was knee deep in a long box, looking and hunting. And if you haven't seen his haul video, you need to. He got some good stuff, some real good stuff. Also met Dave from Past Future Vintage Collectibles. He has a great YouTube channel, as well as he does Instagram claim sales on Monday and Fridays. Again, it's Future Past Vintage Collectibles. It's a business that he and his daughter Rachel do together. Dave's a super nice guy. He's flew out from Washington. His brother Danny was there. I didn't see Danny, but saw Dave. Came up to him, introduced myself on Friday outside of the con, and just told him, I said, with my friend Aaron, I said, "We love your channel, and I think it's so neat you do this with your daughter." And he said that's the joy of his life, and I thought that was really cool to hear. And again, I saw him on Sunday as well for a little bit. He's my age, 57, and we're just talking about stuff that we like to collect. And I asked him, I said, "What'd you think of the con?" He said, "This is the best con I've ever been to." And so, super nice guy. I highly recommend you follow his YouTube channel and his Instagram claim sales. Again, they're on Monday and Wednesdays, or Monday and Fridays, excuse me. Future Past Vintage Collectibles. Then I also saw Mike. He has his YouTube channel, The Collective, and he also Mike's probably more familiar to many of you. He does videos with Patrick, aka Luther Manning. Saw Mike on Friday, talked to him for a few minutes. Patrick wasn't there, and then I saw him again. I think it was Saturday evening at Whole Foods. Talked to him for a few minutes. I didn't want to bother him. It's after the con. He's probably tired. He was getting some dinner, but very nice guy. Just it was good to see him. Good to see him. Anyway, let's get going. And we'll start with, and I'm keeping it in alphabetical order for the DC books here. And this is a 100-pager. I'm collecting Brave and Bold run. I'm actually going from, gosh, I think it was around issue 90 or 95. And I'm going right now all the way to when it stopped at the DC Comics Exclusive Bicentennial. Just, I want to focus on that for now, and then I'll expand afterwards later on. But this is number 113. It's a 100-pager. Not bad condition. I mean, I think I got it for like $4. And I believe this is a Nick Cardy cover. 100 pages for only 60 cents. Oh boy, don't you wish it could be those days again. That was on my list. I had a list with me, and but I deviated somewhat. You got to be flexible when you go to HeroesCon. It's a collector's convention, and this is, speaking of deviating, this was it right here. A DC 100-page Super Spectacular. It was DC number 9 in the Super Spectacular run, but also it is number 242 in Our Army at War, and featuring Sergeant Rock, and of course, this is Joe Kubert cover. I haven't actually read this one yet, but I saw it, and I got a good deal on it. And I mean, I love Joe Kubert, and I'm a big fan of Our Army at War and Sergeant Rock, so had to get it. Cool square bound. It's a mid-grade book, but I didn't overpay for it or anything, so it's neat. Speaking of not overpaying, I got this for maybe $4 or $5. Demon number 3. I'd actually like to get Demon number 1. That might be a future pickup at HeroesCon. And again, just a mid-grade book that I bought for just a few dollars. Again, this and Our Army at War were a couple comics that were not on my list, my want list, but, you know, they caught my eye. I love this cover. Jack Kirby. Doesn't get much better than that. House of Mystery, number 226. I think this is Nick Cardy on the cover. I could be wrong. Maybe it's Luis Dominguez. Anyway, I am collecting all the 100-pagers for House of Mystery, and I needed 226 and I think 227. I didn't get 227, but I did get this one. So I only need one more to get all the 100-pagers for House of Mystery. And so very pleased to get that. And it was like, I think it's like a very fine minus. So square bound, nice spine. That's kind of hard to see with the glare, sorry. Well, then we got a run of Justice League of America. I am now working on number 75 to 99 as I have 100 through 200. So still have several issues to go to get between 75 and 99. Here's number 82. I've always liked this one. I always thought it was cool because you have the Earth 1 Flash, Earth 1 Superman, and Earth 1 Batman, along with the Earth 2 Superman, Earth 2 Flash, and Dr. Midnight. Even though Earth 2 Batman is briefly in this. Why couldn't they put him on the cover? But I'm not sure if he was a full-time member of the Justice Society at this time. Anyway, this is number 82. This is Neil Adams cover. And I didn't pay much, maybe $10, $12 for this one. Very fine minus. I was pleased. And I had to get the second part. So here it is, number 83. Another Neil Adams cover. Love the floating heads on each side. Cool cover. I've always wanted these two. And obviously they're in that 75 to 99 run, so I got to get them. Oops, I'm out of order here. Excuse me. Here, let's put that there. Another era that I really like of DC Comics is when they went to 52 pages, or I think sometimes it was 48 or 52 pages for only a quarter. I know they didn't do well, but you got more bang for your buck. You got one new story, and you usually got a good reprint as well. Hence, the story is a superstar spectacular, the private war of Johnny Doon, and then you had the secret origin stories, of Dr. Fate and Dr. Midnight. And this is number 95, and I believe this is a Nick Cardy cover. Sorry for the little glare there. Not a bad book. It was, again, this is like a very fine minus. I don't know how much I paid for that. Really, it doesn't matter. I mean, these are stuff that I wanted to fill in, runs I needed, and very happy with it. Now, I have a couple copies of this already. This is Justice League of America when they went to the giant size, which is issues number 139 through 157. This is number 141. I already have 2 complete runs of this. Now I'm going for a 3rd complete run. And I blame Shannon, Solid 4 String Bottom End, for all of that duplicate copy sickness that I deal with. But this was the era that I really started collecting on a monthly basis, especially the Justice League of America. I mean, if I could afford only one book, it would be Justice League. My parents didn't have a lot of money. So, and Justice League of America, to this day, the Bronze Age especially, is my favorite title. So I was very pleased to get this. Didn't pay much at all for it either. I mean, $4 or $5, and it's like a fine/very fine. So, and speaking of multiple copies, this is like the 6th one I have of this. Number 133, Ernie Chan on the cover. This is the first comic I ever bought with my own money. And anytime I see it at a good price, I pick it up. This is just a mid-grade book, but mid-grade copy, but still one of my favorite covers of all time. It's like how Shannon loves Commandy 18, and John, Dr. Von Chilla, loves Thor 207, and I know Dr. Silver Age has a couple. He has a Green Lantern that he loves and a Hulk, and I forgot those numbers off the top of my head, but this is mine. This is the first comic I bought with my own money. Number 133, and I still love it. A black cover. I think it's so cool. Picked up a few Weird Western Tales. This is number 23, Jonah Hex. Weird Western Tales presents Jonah Hex. Number 23, Luis Dominguez on the cover. This is slowly becoming one of my favorite titles. Something I would have looked at as a kid. Strictly superheroes. I've mentioned that many times. But as I've gotten older, I appreciate different genres of comics. And Western, especially Jonah Hex, is one that I really, really like a lot. So I'm working on this run when it became Weird Western Tales. And right now working up to the DC Comics Salutes the Bicentennial issue, which I think is number 33. Might be a little higher. I have that one. I just want to fill in all those before I start working afterwards, up after the DC Comics Salutes the Bicentennial issue. So, got this. I got this in the $5 bin, and it's in nice shape. It's like a very fine minus. Number 24 of Weird Western Tales presents Jonah Hex. Again, Luis Dominguez on the cover. Love this cover. Cool, bright yellow cover. I bought this one and number 23 at the same time. So, pretty nice. Very happy. Weird Western Tales presents Jonah Hex number 27. I bought this from Dale Roberts Comics. Yeah, it says $30. I did not pay $30. I would tell you Dale Roberts had one of the best booths. Organized, great selection. I bought just a couple books, but my friend Aaron spent several $100s there. And Dale Roberts, great booth. Like I said, a great booth. Actually, when we were there on Friday, there was a gentleman, I say a young man, I'm 57. This guy was probably 30. I saw he had a book down, and Dale Roberts was counting some cash out. And I looked, and I told my buddy Aaron, I said, he's buying Amazing Fantasy number 15, first appearance of Spider-Man. And it was slabbed. It was graded at a number 3, at a 3. And the young man paid $40,000 in cash and $100 bills for it. And then my friend Aaron said, look over there. And his girlfriend or wife was filming it. And afterwards, he shook Dale Roberts' hands, shook his hand, turned to the camera, showed the book, smiled, tucked it under his arm, and walked away. And I told Aaron, I said, man, $40,000, I would have put that in a backpack, acted like, it's no big deal, but I wouldn't have just carried it under my arm out of the convention. But anyway. And actually, there was another dealer we saw on Sunday who had 4 different copies of Amazing Fantasy 15, from graded like a 2.5, 2.5, all the way up to a 5.5. But they were still on his wall on Sunday. Dale Roberts sold his. Again, if you ever go to HeroesCon, go to Dale Roberts' booth. Great books, nice condition. He'll deal with you. He'll be fair. You won't pay the cover price on your comics that you buy from him. This was a $2 book, The Unknown Soldier, featuring the Unknown Soldier in Star Spangled War Stories, number 179. Joe Kubert cover, $2. Yes, please, all day long. Just a mid-grade book, but I was happy with it. I almost bought this last year from Smashers Comics. He has a nice small booth, but he has some nice books at a very good price. I had this last year. I was going to buy this at his booth, and I picked up 2 different comics. This was like the last booth last year that I bought, so I didn't pick this up. I bought Adventure Comics, where it was The Death of the Earth 2 Batman, and I forgot the other one that I bought from him, so I put this back because I was down to my last few dollars. And I remembered, when I went back, I said, he had Starfire number 1, and it was in nice shape. I said, I wonder if he still has it. Yep, and he did. He had this. It was this copy too, and it's a very fine plus. And I got it for half the price that he was selling it last year, which wasn't much. But I just wanted the first issue. Here's my other purchase from Dale Roberts Comics, Supergirl number 4. I really wanted to find Supergirl number 1 at the con, but I could never find it. I found issues of Supergirl number 1, but they were I wanted at least a very fine to very fine plus. Did not see any in that grade, and the ones I did, I would have settled for maybe a little lower grade, but the spines were rolled, and I thought they were overpriced. But I was happy with this. This is a nice, very fine book. And again, I didn't pay that price. Dale Roberts was, he definitely, would give you a deal, especially if you paid cash. And he did well all weekend. And again, his booth is just so well thought out. Everything's organized. Everything's in alphabetical order. It's easy to find what you're looking for, whether it's on the wall or in the long boxes. And a lot of other dealers should take note, because some people just had long boxes and it was like, oh, it's just $5 on it. But you kind of had to go through it, hunt and peck to see what was in there. And that was frustrating. I didn't want to waste my time doing that. So we passed on some. But anyway, Supergirl number 4. I think I have about 5 more issues to go on this series, including number 1. I think this is only 9-issue run or 10-issue run. And my last DC comic that I picked up was from the HeroesCon was Superman number 255. And it was nice shape, and I don't think I paid much for this. I think $5. And nice book. I'm working on all the 20 cent, 25 cent, and 30 cent Superman covers. Actually, I think right now I'm only working on the 20 cent Superman covers, so I have a few more to go. It's interesting to note how the Superman 20 cent books, the stories are kind of cheesy, but then if you look over in the Batman 20 cent books, the stories are so much better. But I still love Superman. Superman and Batman are my 2 favorite superheroes. But that's all my, kind of run over my 15-minute mark, but thank you for staying with me if you have. By the way, this comic box I bought from this gentleman, Just Chad, Custom Comic Boxes. He was there last year. I wanted to buy a box last year, but I had limited funds, and by the time I really came across his boxes, I couldn't get one. But I wanted to come back, support his business. Just Chad, that's the back. That's cool, because I don't want just plain white comic boxes. So I bought one, and it's this Batman one. And that's the cover. And it has design all around. And there in the front. Anyway, that's part 1. And I don't know if I'll do part 2 today, but part 2 will be my Marvel, which I didn't have a lot of Marvel, but then also I bought some Gold Key comics. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.